Alright, so welcome to this video where I'm going to take a little time to go over spotting fake or fraudulent or forgery 1984 TCMA Pawtucket Red Sox Roger Clemens rookie cards. This video is going to cover what was a much older fake or forgery back when I remember it as a teenager in the early and mid 1990s. It's probably an older fake than that, probably came from the 80s. A couple of these have popped up for sale on auction sites recently, and people are paying for them, and they're paying the regular price for them when they're a forgery. So we've got a couple examples here that we're going to go over that kind of help you understand really quick the way to identify the fake ones versus the real ones, or at least one version of a fake one that I know is out there. I know it's out there because I got burned with one when I was younger, and I had a nice, experienced old-timer gentleman who owned a local card shop who explained to me how I had gotten burned. And it was a really crappy feeling when I knew I got burned and I had a fake card, but it was really obvious once he had pointed it out, and I think it's really obvious once we do point these things out. So, without any further ado, let's compare a couple of listings. One here that's in a PSA holder. It's graded a 7 and considered authentic by PSA. I believe they're correct. It's definitely an authentic looking version of the card. And then we have another one, and we'll take a look at that. So this PSA 7 is clearly authentic. Not just because PSA says so, but because if you know this card and your experiences a Clemens collector with this, you know that this is an authentic version of it. So let's take a look at a different version. And actually, before we do that, you can kind of see like the registration and the focus on the picture of this card is just not good. It's not a high quality resolution card at all, the real copies or the fakes. So using the picture registration and the focus and the clarity around like his jacket and his face and stuff like that, and the scoreboard is not really a great judge for this card in my opinion, because they all just look like this. So, but there are some other telltale signs. Alright, so here we have another one that actually just sold on an auction site online very recently for real money, the money that would take to buy an authentic copy. This one's not graded by anybody or authenticated. It's a raw card, and this card is absolutely fake. Okay, and so I'm going to point out the first telltale sign of this card being a fake. So I'm going to use the snip tool here to highlight, and the first clue that this card is fake is right here in the Pawtucket Red Sox font down here at the bottom. Alright, and the first big clue is this W is flat on the bottom. I can draw a line across the bottom of the W's with a straight line, and that is absolutely incorrect. What you want to see on an authentic copy, and we'll zoom in, is that this W is absolutely pointed. The points of the W come to a point, and what you can also see here is the gap between the leg of the W and the leg of the A stays parallel between them. And we're going to go back, remember these kind of points right here, and start looking at the font. There's a few other things about the font that's a dead giveaway that it's fake. Okay, I'm gonna look in here, and you can see already. We're gonna scroll down. If you look right in here, look at how these letters are not running parallel. If these kept going, they would intersect with each other, right? But on that other one, we saw they're absolutely parallel, and the W is pointy. So pointy bottoms of the W, not pointy bottoms of the W, quite flat. And actually, if you look here at the top, the flat, thick part of the middle, where the two V's join together, much, much wider on the fake. Alright, so that is absolutely the first place to look. If the W is not pointed on the bottom and it's not parallel with the A, it's a fake. And what you can see really quick here is this font is bold, but it's thinner. The letters are not as bold as the fake card font. You look at how thick these are, and the next telltale sign is the T. Alright, and so we can use the snip tool to highlight the T. Right, and you see that T is very short. I'm going to click back over here and bring up the T again, and I'll shrink it down so it's kind of the same size. Look at how wide the top of the T is. It's almost as wide as the T is tall, and the top of the T is thinner than the stem of the T. And this one, this T is much shorter, not as wide as the stem, and it's a lot thicker over here. Alright, so when you start really investigating this font, you can really start seeing how it's off. And then all of the T's, the other T here, should be nice and wide, but the T is not. Okay, so basically the giveaway in this card is the font this way. And then you can start to see the edge bleed of the black around the way this card was printed. It looks to me like somebody took a copy of a real card, tried to reprint it, and then re-stamped the font, the letters, the text. It's just not right. So let's see, this is kind of very grainy and edgy, and this is not. It's got a cleaner line to it. It's not a great line. These aren't great cards quality-wise, but so again, now if we kind of take a look here at the O, notice how fat and wide, kind of even the O is from top to bottom and left to right. It's very symmetrical. It's very proportional. If we go to the other card, let's take a look at this O. Alright, so we'll snip that again, and we'll take a new one. Let's take a look at that. And you can see how the O is kind of tall and thin versus round like a ball. This is an oval, and this is round like a ball. And then if you really start to analyze all of the font, you can see that all of it's wrong. The S is actually wrong the way the S is made. It's fatter in the middle there. The O is clearly wrong, and the X is very thick and wrong versus thin like the top of the T. So the font on these cards is just wrong when it's this type of fake. Like I said, I learned about this and had most of this pointed out to me by an older gentleman when I was a teenager, and he had said, being a guy with a card shop since the 80s, that these were pretty common fakes, and I had gotten ripped off. So this card's clearly a fake. If you want to take a look at the back, what we see about the back, this is the back of the PSA authentic card, and this card's totally correct and authentic. They're very often very off-center and such. Again, not a high-quality card. But so they use the same font on the top of the back, pointy W's, wide T, round circular O, not an oval, right? But on the fake, so here's the back of that fake card. They've got the same incorrect font and the same flat bottom W. Right? And short, thin topped T, flat bottom W versus the correct pointy bottom, W, wide T. So again, you can really see quickly and easily that these cards are just not. Another kind of giveaway here is the A. The cross in the A is actually much lower on the authentic card, and it's a little higher up in the A on the fakes. And one other little thing is you can see that this card is the font, all the font on the real card, the type, the letters are crisp. They have edges, they're clean edges. Clean edges. When I say clean edges, I mean look at how chattery and unclean the edges on this fake are. The ink breaks constantly. It's very much, obviously, not the same. You can see the nice crisp, clean type, and then very jerky, unclean type. You can really see it in the copyright logo right there versus that. You can really see it in this blue. Look at how chattery the white font is with the blue edges versus how clean this one is. So again, the fake, once you see it and you see all the flaws with the fake, it's really quick and easy to identify a fake. But if you don't know what the flaws are, then it can slip by you, and you can get stuck with a card that's just a fake. And this isn't a modern reprint. This is exactly all the flaws that I had in the reprint in the early 90s that I got. This is an old card that's being circulated around. These were done a long time ago, this particular one. Some folks have asked, what about the stock? What about the gloss? What about the card thickness? From what I remember, I don't remember the card being noticeably any different in thickness. The size was correct. I do remember holding them up to another one in the card shop that the gentleman had, an authentic one, and it was exactly the same card size. It was cut correct. The dimensions were right. The thickness seemed okay. Recent inspection from another collector of an actual fake on hand. Once you kind of know it's the fake and you're looking at the fake, it's reported that the front gloss could be perceived as a little bit glossier or smoother than the original, which is kind of a rough, low quality construction kind of card. But really all that is secondary to the obvious lettering problems, typeface problems, font problems, spacing problems. It becomes pretty obvious. So anyway, hope you can put this to use, and if you're in the market for one of these cards or taking a look at a show or find one at a dealer or anywhere else, or if you're looking for one online, you can use this to save yourself some headaches, because unfortunately some folks just recently did purchase this particular fake for a pretty good amount of money, much more money than I would want to spend on a card that was a fake of one of these. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and check out my next ones as I post them. Thanks.